Tameka Tiny Harris came into the spotlight in the 90s as a singer, songwriter, and member of the R&B group Escape. Then in the 2000s, she garnered more attention due to her relationship with T.I. We even made a video about their messy romance, which we've linked for you in the description box. In the comments section of our T.I. and Tiny video, a lot of people were shocked by how much Tiny's appearance has changed throughout the years. So we decided to do a deep dive into how the criticism she's received about her looks might have compelled her to go under the knife. We'll also discuss the truth about her procedures, including the work she had done on her badunkadunk, and some crazy allegations about one of her surgeons.
Everybody's told me amazing things from him, like people that I trust, like K. Michelle, and I had to come see for myself, so he's gonna make me over.
Before we get into other people's booties, other people's business, be sure to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of beef and bacon jerky, buffalo wing popcorn, and green apple licorice. The disrespectful comments about her appearance date back to the start of her singing career. Escape released their debut album in 1993, and it was full of bangers like Just Kick It. While the quartet's voices blended beautifully, not everyone was feeling their appearance. In his 1994 record, Just Playing Dreams, the Notorious B.I.G. raps, "I left RuPaul before I effed them ugly Escape." Tiny admitted to Vlad TV that they were offended by the lyrics. The rapper tried to meet up with them several times to personally apologize, but they did their best to avoid crossing paths with him. He even tried to attend some of their concerts to show support, but some of the members of Escape wouldn't allow him to attend. It wasn't until 1997 that they ended up at the same party co-sponsored by Vibe magazine at a Los Angeles nightclub. Someone told Escape that Biggie wanted to speak to them. Candy Burris shut it down and said, "I'm not going over there. I don't want to talk to him." So Tiny decided to take one for the team and hear him out. She said, "He basically apologized for saying that he thought we were beautiful." Tiny accepted his apology and they talked, laughed, and hugged each other. As Biggie was leaving the party that night, he was shot multiple times and lost his life. Escape released another album in 1995, and their third and final album dropped in 1998. A few years later, Tiny met T.I. When she was introduced to his family, Tiny said his mom didn't approve of her. During an episode of T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle, Tiny said, "I honestly felt like I think I was too white when I came around. They were looking like, who is this white girl? What? Get her out of here." Although Tiny's mom is white and her dad is black, she identifies as a black woman. So very early on, Tiny was criticized for her appearance. As T.I.'s music climbed the charts and he gained more notoriety, the comments got more savage. Many people thought T.I. was a little snacky snack, and they couldn't figure out why someone like him would be with a woman like Tiny. Maybe it was jealousy? Who knows? They even went as far as to call her horrible names like Miss Piggy because of the shape of her nose. During a 2007 episode of Jamie Foxx's Foxhole radio show, his co-hosts Johnny Mac and Claudia Jordan dragged Tiny from here to Bankhead. They even questioned whether or not she had Down syndrome. Now, we have to admit this audio is brutal, so we will play a snippet and leave a link to it in the description box if you want to hear the rest. Okay, here it goes.
She escaped the pretty line after she escaped.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I wouldn't know whether to lube up or put a nickel in her bag.
So when you say that night, she's really the pig in the blanket. That's a wasted light skin right there.
I know.
That's
my waist, exactly.
You talking about a snot box.
I'm not just going to sit here. These are personal friends of mine that
Oh,
I've
your
parted
personal
with.
friend has Down syndrome. Okay.
No, it's just a missing chromosome.
To make matters even worse, Tiny was unaware that the conversation took place. So when she debuted her Tiny Tonight talk show in 2013, she hired Claudia as one of her co-hosts. Several years later, a social media user finally clued Tiny in on what Claudia had said in the past, and Tiny responded by calling Claudia a pass-around that can't keep a man. We dug through red carpet photos and were able to pinpoint exactly when her physical changes became more noticeable. Here's a picture from 2009, and here she is in 2010. Yeah, that thing went from an apple to a honey-glazed ham. Her lower region has shape-shifted throughout the years, so it's difficult to determine which procedure or procedures she underwent to enhance her cheeks. As Tiny was making tweaks to achieve her desired appearance, T.I. was busy clapping back at anyone that had anything negative to say about her. But no matter how many times he defended her, people still couldn't accept the fact that he loved her from the inside out. Tiny continued showing off her man-made assets on Instagram, but by 2014, T.I. told her it was time to pump the brakes. After she posted a photo of her cakes, T.I. commented that while he thought her butt was magnificent, she had so many other things going on for her, and he wished she would showcase those things instead. It wasn't until March 2014 that she finally spoke out about going under the knife during an appearance on The Wendy Williams Show.
Is that booty a natural booty or a bought booty?
It's a little bit.
A little cut. Thank you for being honest. Now, your boobs, are those your natural boobs or are they bought boobs?
No, they're bought.
And she underwent breast augmentation after having 3 children. Some people were convinced she also had a nose job after constantly being ridiculed for looking like Miss Piggy. Tiny confirmed to Wendy that she thought about getting rhinoplasty, but ultimately decided against it because she inherited the shape of her nose from her late father, who passed away in July 2013. So, what's the deal with her nose doing the lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it? Well, according to doctors, as we age, our nasal skin becomes thinner and the nose structure weakens and loses support. This can cause the nasal tip to droop, which changes the overall appearance of the nose. And if you look at her face over the years, her nose really hasn't changed that much. In October 2014, Tiny took her physical alterations to a whole new level when she traveled all the way to Tunisia to undergo a controversial surgery to permanently change the color of her eyes. She told People magazine she had been wearing colored contacts for a few years, but they made her vision blurry. Her friend put her on to a new procedure called Brightocular that would allow Tiny to permanently change her eye color. After going back and forth about whether or not to do the procedure, which is illegal in the United States, Tiny decided to go through with it after she was told it was completely safe and reversible. She paid $10,000, which didn't include her plane ticket and hotel accommodations. Her doctor told Jezebel website the surgery is performed under local or general anesthesia with 3 incisions in the eye's peripheral. The implant is folded into an injector, then it's injected into the eye after filling the eye with viscoelastic, which are substances that are used for cataract surgery. The procedure takes about 5 to 10 minutes per eye.
They woke me up and it's very blurry, and then it just kind of fades in.
And you looked in the mirror, and what did you think?
I looked in the mirror and I was like, they're amazing.
Initially, T.I. thought his wife was out of her mind for wanting to undergo such a drastic change. But eventually, he told her to live your life. Hey. Of course, Tiny received a grip of backlash. Even Wendy Williams, who's typically one of T.I. and Tiny's biggest fans, had this to say.
The eyes are the window to the soul. And getting your eyes permanently done like this is, to me, as bad as people who bleach their skin.
Tiny told People magazine she didn't care what anyone had to say. She added, "People are saying I must have low self-esteem, but if you really know me, I have no problems in the self-esteem department." Her daughter Zanique Pullins was so in love with her mom's results that she decided to get the procedure as well. She traveled to the same facility and picked out a grayish blue color. In a video posted by the surgery center after the procedure, Zanique looks crazy as hell. Her eyes are watering and look a bit puffy. Sadly, she had complications following the procedure.
When I look too fast, it start hurting.
Are you able to sing and go in the studio with your eye right now? I think you should probably, the pressure, I don't know about belting, and I don't feel like that's...
Yeah, I've been thinking about that, because she said don't strain.
Yeah.
She had her implants removed and is back to rocking her beautiful brown eyes. Now, back to Tiny. 5 months after giving birth to her daughter Eris, she posted a bare stomach photo of herself to promote a tea that claims to make your tummy flat. Fans were quick to call it false advertising and accuse Tiny of getting a tummy tuck. Tiny responded in the comments that she only had one procedure done on her stomach, and it was done sometime around 2001. But she didn't confirm if it was a tummy tuck or a lipo. Tiny also insisted that her snatched post-baby body was achieved with the help of the tea, diet, and exercise. Baby birds of a feather flock together, and Tiny isn't the only one in her inner circle that has undergone surgical procedures. Her former friend Shakana admitted during an episode of The Real that she's too lazy to work out and prefers to visit her favorite Atlanta doctor for liposuction treatments instead. She also had a fat transfer from her stomach to her bumper. The fat transfer procedure turned out to be a huge mistake. During an episode of her podcast that she co-hosted with Tiny, Shakana admitted that her wagon was so big she had a hard time wiping herself, and she had to wipe through the front to get to the back. And then her inflated rump started to cause medical issues. During an Instagram live session, Shakana said whatever was in her cakes was making her sick, and Tiny gave her $6,000 to get it removed. Tiny's friend Shamra also went under the knife and experienced complications. She detailed her journey to correct her lopsided chi-chis during an episode of Botched. Tiny joined her on the show for moral support. In October 2017, a gynecologist turned celebrity plastic surgeon by the name of Dr. Ayman Shaheen was accused of butchering dozens of women's biscuits. According to his website, Tiny and Renee Graziano of Mob Wives were two of his many reality TV clients.
Girl Kim Bella, and I'm here at my favorite doctor's office, Dr. Shaheen, right here on 34th Street in New York.
We're gonna post this video on social media for people to see you and to learn from your experience. Is that okay?
Okay.
He racked up 16 allegations of misconduct, including gross incompetence and negligence. He had been sued 15 times since 2013, including by a 19-year-old woman named Giselle Torres Figueroa, who contacted him after she watched a video of K. Michelle being treated by him. The woman got a $10,000 loan and received a tummy tuck and butt lift from Dr. Shaheen. The 3-hour procedure was done while she was wide awake, and she said she was crying and screaming the entire time. He allegedly told her to keep it down so other patients wouldn't hear her. Following the surgery, she was left with permanent numbness and burning pain in her lower back, abdomen, and butt. In January 2019, the state of New York revoked Dr. Shaheen's license. However, 2 months later, the New York Post conducted an investigation and discovered he and other doctors whose licenses had been suspended in the tri-state area were still illegally treating patients. It's unclear if Tiny received treatment following these allegations. Despite all of Tiny's procedures and alleged procedures, some people still aren't feeling her new appearance. In April 2019, rapper Kodak Black made a move on Lauren London shortly after the passing of her boyfriend, Nipsey Hussle. T.I., who has a friendship with Lauren dating back to their appearance in the 2006 film ATL, addressed Kodak's disrespectful comments and even made a diss track about him. Soon after, Kodak fired back in a diss track of his own called Expeditiously, and Tiny caught a stray in the lyrics when Kodak raps, "How you tell me what came out of my mouth? You don't even know Nipsey. Tiny, that ugly as hell, I don't even want Piggy." In response, Tiny took to her Instagram to post a picture of herself looking beautiful in an all-pink outfit. In her caption, she wrote, "Channeling Mrs. Piggy." As recently as May 2021, people have still been accusing her of undergoing more procedures on her fart box. In a video posted to social media, her cheeks appear to be dragging as she dances on a platform with some friends. After over 2 decades together, T.I. is standing by his woman and all of her curves. But if he loves her so much, why is he constantly cheating? You know what? Never mind. A source close to the rapper told Hollywood Life that he tells Tiny his favorite view of her is when she's walking away. The insider added, Tiny loves watching him lust for her butt that she worked hard for in the gym. All her sweat and energy is paying off big time. Okay, and on that note, we're just going to wish Tiny the best, because if she and her hubby like it, then who are we to judge, right? If you enjoyed this video, let us know down below, and thanks for watching RRG.